Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. In this video we are checking out the second part of Spider-Man Dying Wish. So here we go with part 2 of Spider-Man Dying Wish. Now if you haven't watched the video for part 1 you may want to go and check that out first, or you may find yourself a bit confused as to what's happened in the story. So a quick recap. Part 1, we know that Dr. Octopus managed to switch bodies with Peter Parker, and Dr. Octopus has all his memories, he knows all his secrets, and he's out there being Spider-Man whilst Peter Parker is trapped in Doc Ock's dying body. And at the end of part 1 he had a kind of seizure and the medical team rushed in. So we start part 2 where we finish part 1 and the medical team are all attempting to save who they think is Dr. Octopus's life and get his heart going again, which they succeed in doing. Then Peter Parker thinks back over the situation he now finds himself in. Trapped in the dying body of my worst enemy. In an iron lung. In a cell. In a prison. On an island. Underground, underwater, under guard, and surrounded on all sides by supervillains. But how did Dr. Octopus do this? And he's starting to panic now, understandably. He's just laying there, he can't do anything, and he's thinking over what Dr. Octopus has said to him, how he's got his body, he's got all his thoughts, all his memories, he knows all his secrets, and he's thinking how bad this situation is. Not just the fact that he's trapped in Dr. Octopus's dying body, but also the fact that now Dr. Octopus is being Spider-Man. If he commits any crimes, people are just going to assume it's Spider-Man. He's a member of the Avengers, he knows the codes to get into Avengers headquarters. He could get in there and attack the Avengers. The Avengers wouldn't realise what was going on. And what about his family? What about his friends? What about Mary Jane? None of them would realise that this was not Peter Parker. So that then he decides, okay, stop panicking, this isn't going to help. And then he thinks, well, if Dr. Octopus has got all my memories and thoughts, maybe I've got access to his. So he starts going back through Dr. Octopus's memories, and he's remembering things from when Doc Ock was a kid. He's remembering from when he became Dr. Octopus, and he's got memories of actually fighting Spider-Man. And then he's got the memories of when he must have found out when he was dying, when a doctor told him he's got a year, 18 months at the most. And he remembers, he has a memory of Dr. Octopus putting his brain pattern into these little robots he's got, these little Octobots that he can control. And he used them in a previous plan to try and take over the city, and Spider-Man took his control helmet away from him and ruined that plan. And then later on, Spider-Man used Dr. Octopus's control helmet again during the Spider Island storyline, and then he realises every time he used Dr. Octopus's control helmet, it gave Dr. Octopus access to his mind, and every time he did it, Dr. Octopus was using that technology to map out Peter Parker's brain. And now he remembers Dr. Octopus's plan. He remembers how Dr. Octopus managed to switch bodies. He built a special golden Octobot, which he's calling a brain swapping Octobot. And he controlled this Octobot and he used it to track down Spider-Man. And at the time he found Spider-Man, he was in a situation where his spider sense wasn't working. And the golden Octobot attacked Spider-Man and basically hacked into his brain and transferred over Dr. Octopus's brain pattern and switched Spider-Man's brain pattern into Dr. Octopus's dying body. So that's how he did it, the little golden Octobot. So now Spider-Man's thinking, well, hang on, if you did it, I can do it too. So he searches for this little gold Octobot and he finds it. And he manages to activate it and get it up and moving. Now he's trying to think, now I've got it going, what am I going to do with it? I can't go to the Avengers, they wouldn't believe me. So he goes through Dr. Octopus's memories again, and he goes through all of his unused schemes and plans until he finds one that he thinks he can use. He controls the little golden Octobot, he gets it into an office block, it hacks into someone's terminal, and it sends out a pre-recorded message concerning some plan he's got called Sigma 6. Now this sends out this message that Doc Ock has obviously recorded previously, and this goes out to a whole bunch of supervillains, some of whom Doc Ock knows and has worked with before, some of whom he doesn't know. But the message tells them that if they can help Dr. Octopus complete this plan, they will each get paid $6 million. And he sends the message out to all these supervillains, and then the little Octobot gives out. It collapses. And then there is nothing left to do apart from wait. Now he's just waiting in the cell, waiting to see if anything happens. And as he does, the alarm goes off again, the medical alarm goes off, and the medical team are about to go back into Dr. Octopus's cell when suddenly Hydro Man appears through the water system. He's broken into the raft looking for Dr. Octopus. He's obviously got Dr. Octopus's message, and he forces the medical team to tell him where Dr. Octopus is. And he then sets up this microfilament he's brought through with him. He sets it up into a ring, and that opens a portal, and through the portal come the Scorpion and the Trapster. Back in his cell, Peter Parker, he can hear explosions, he can hear shouting and guards running around, and suddenly there's a big explosion as his cell is blown open, and there in the debris is the Trapster. He says, "Don't worry, Doc, me and the guys, we're here to break you out." Now the Trapster, he's a bit of a genius with machinery and building and inventing things, so he's got Dr. Octopus's body out and he's hooked him up to a portable life support unit. Gets Dr. Octopus, or who he thinks is Dr. Octopus, out of the cell. Now obviously this Sigma 6 plan concerned reforming a version of the Sinister Six. So Scorpion and Hydro Man, they're saying, right, okay, which other two guys are we going to get? Who else are we going to break out? Spider-Man obviously does not want to break out any more supervillains. So he says, we're not breaking anyone else out. It's just the four of us, let's go. And then Morbius, the living vampire, he's saying, Octavius, break me out, because he thinks it's Dr. Octopus. And obviously Spider-Man's saying, no, leave him there, we're going, we don't have time. And then he stops briefly and asks if the Lizard wants to come with them, because he knows that the mind of Dr. Kirk Connors is inside the Lizard somewhere, and the Lizard just ignores them. So off they go, they leave him, and they get outside, and not only is he trying to stay alive, he's trying to concentrate on stopping Scorpion and Hydro Man from killing any of the guards or hurting any of the staff. So they're okay, fine. They activate the portal. They go back through the portal. Now, the next thing we know, they've got who they think is Dr. Octopus back to one of his hideouts, and they've got him hooked up to a life support system. And they say, right, next thing, we've got step 3, and that is catch Spider-Man dead or alive. And Peter Parker, now in Dr. Octopus's body, replies, alive. I definitely need him alive. And that is the end of part 2. So now Dr. Octopus may well be out there being Spider-Man, but now Peter Parker is being Dr. Octopus. and he's got some of Dr. Octopus's supervillain pals to break him out. He's out of the prison, he's in headquarters, he's on life support, and he's got a plan to capture Doc Ock in his body and get their minds swapped back over. So that was part 2, one more part to go. Now if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up below. If you don't want to miss out on whatever else I get up to, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know how the story ends, then join me for part 3.